Alright, time to start a new video. Now, today I'd like to talk about something, and I do have personal experience with this. I have started investing within the last year, and currently I'm up nearly 8% in terms of what I have invested. Now, this isn't for humble bragging, but rather to use as an example, and I do hope you find it very useful to you. See, investments build up over time. Therefore, the fairly obvious conclusion is that it is best to start early. But of course, this carries some inherent worries, especially from those who haven't invested a lot. You don't necessarily have to be amazing at investing. You just need to invest in stocks that show consistent growth. Indexes like Vanguard has or the S&P index are often the best way to go. If you invest in one specific company, things have issues generally because you never be so certain that they're going to go great. Sometimes a company legitimately crashes and burns. So by investing in indexes or other shared accounts that are investing in multiple different stocks, generally you're going to have a safer bet. Similarly, investing in multiple stocks is generally a good idea if you don't. But here's the crucial thing. I know a lot of people, especially after Andrew Tate and other groups, would make these videos explaining how to get rich quick. See, the thing with investing is, it's not about getting rich quick. Some investment will not just make one rich quickly, and most get rich quick schemes have the fairly obvious, I'll be honest, weakness that not a lot of people actually do get rich quick. A few do, and the rest crash and burn. But investing early carries a different benefit. It's not quick wealth, but rather it's compounding one's wealth over time, which will be very useful as you grow up. If you put in $5,000 and it grows to $50,000, sure, you're not suddenly a millionaire, but it still helps you greatly over time, especially as you grow up and the compounding of the interest increases that $50,000 to say $500,000 or $1 million. It takes a long time, granted, but it's still very, very valuable. See, that's just how investing is. It's a long-term game. It's best not to think of it in terms of short-term, look at me, I'm making so much money, but rather, okay, I've made this much. Let's see if I can grow it even further over time so I can have a reliable backup. And when it comes to time, that is your most crucial thing here. Investment, even before one turns 18, is good to do as it gives more time for that interest to compound. If you invest $500 a year, eventually you will reach $1 million. Not from the investment itself, but from the compound interest growing on what you've invested. Pretty soon, the extra 500 will be a drop in the bucket compared to what you've actually grown over decades or even further. Excuse me. And that is very good for you. The fact is, it's a good way to have a backup plan. A lot of people, especially now, are living paycheck to paycheck. That's not a good thing. But you can spare $500 most of the time. Even a few small cuts yearly could allow you to save that money up. And investing it allows you to gain a good emergency fund if necessary. It can also be used to build up your wealth so you can effectively retire on time. There's a lot of benefits, and it adds another one for the economy, which I'm sure you may not care as much about, but still it's worth noting. Having that backup is very good for the economy as it's stabilizing. Think about it like this. Imagine if everyone just invested their money and spent it in a restrained manner. Sure, the economy wouldn't go up as quickly because there's less spending, but the economy would be far more stable. A crash happens, okay, that sucks, but everyone has money that they can use as backup until the economy starts recovering. The reverse, everyone just spending and spending, means, sure, quick growth, but at the same time, when things hit the fan, they hit it really bad. And that isn't good. So not only are you helping yourself, which is a very good thing to do, especially in today's economy, but also you'd be helping the economy as a whole because you stabilize it. Another advantage to doing this is that when said investments are sold, if you decide to, let's say you sell $100,000 worth of stock. I know I'm just making up a random number, but let's say that's it. The capital gains tax, especially in the US, is actually lower than the income tax, allowing you to keep more of your money. So you would pay more if that 100,000 was made by work than you would by selling stock. Which I know some people may complain about that, but frankly, if you can take advantage of it, why not? Plus, that means you get to keep more of your money. I believe it's around 17 to 20% if I remember correctly. If I'm wrong, I do apologize. I'm not an expert in tax law. I just know which is higher than which. And it just helps, generally speaking. And so having that lower tax means you can make more money with less. Even if you earn $200,000 with income tax, you pay more of it, so you often are leaving with less. And that's not good. Not if you want to have that money to spend or use to help yourself. So if you instead invest your income in what you have, then you can make money effectively without relying on a higher tax bracket. Now, while you're still working, you will still pay income tax, I won't deny it, but the capital gains will greatly overshadow it. And for those who wish to pass on their wealth to their descendants, say you want to have kids and a family, or you just have someone you want to care about when you die, well, stocks have what is called the stepped-up basis. And the way it works is that when you die, your heirs will not be taxed on your capital gains. Instead, it cuts off at your death, and whatever wealth would be the value of that stock at the time is set as the starting price. So let's say a stock starts at $2 when you buy it, and it's $15 when you die. Now normally, capital gains tax is based on the difference between that $2 and the 15. But if you die and it passes on to your heirs, they would be considered to have 15 as the baseline. So if it grew from there, they would have to pay, but if they sell it immediately, they won't have to pay. They will only pay taxes on the growth that occurs after your death. So if you really want to build up wealth, both for yourself and for your family, invest early. There are apps for that. Robinhood's the most notable, but there are apps that allow you to invest early. And for parents who are listening, if there are any, I don't know, getting your kids an account to invest in, say the money you give them for your birthdays, their birthdays rather, and instead have that grow, that would be a very beneficial thing. Now, of course, some people may want to do it more fancy, want to have an even greater growth. In such a case, there are people who help with that. You can pass it over to them and they'll invest for you, and because they only make money if it succeeds and you make money, then they have a very big incentive to do the best they can. You'll have to likely pay a bit of the percentage that you make, but it still allows you to grow far better. And not everyone has the time to constantly research stocks and positions and the current state of the economy, so it's a very good option, especially for those who really do start early, like in college or high school. It's just generally safer. And that's kind of why I wanted to speak. I wish to encourage people to make good decisions. After all, if we have a good society, if we can get people out of this current trap, with people constantly stuck in paycheck to paycheck situations, that is better for us, all of us. But you can't just do it by saying, let's fix the economy, because there are so many different factors that play into that it's not an easy solution. But what you can do is encourage people to instead invest, to plan, to work on themselves, so at the very minimum, when things hit the fan, they're able to take care of themselves even just marginally better. And besides, I have my own plans, which I am sure plenty of people are aware of who watch this channel. Having a stable economy, or at the bare minimum, people who can stabilize the economy, is beneficial for them. So, I will take it either way, and I would encourage it. Think smart, invest early, and plan for your future. Short-term gains have their benefits, but maintaining things in the long term, that is what will determine how good your future is, especially when you're less able to work in your older years, which, as much as even those young like me just casually may want to deny it, that will eventually come for you too. Even if you're only 18, heck, even if you're 10, it doesn't matter, because eventually you will be in your 50s, you will be in your 60s. And so you gotta plan for that. Just $500 a year. It's a good starting point. $500 a month, I mean, it's nice, but it's never gonna be guaranteed. But still, just starting with $500 a year would be very good to do. It's a good emergency fund that you can sell when necessary, and it can generate a lot of compound interest for you over time. So invest early, plan for your future. And so when you get to see that tree grow, even if only for a brief part of your life, you will still be able to enjoy its fruits. And it will be beneficial for you, and for everyone else. I do hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good day.